damn it. I'm things. Oh my gosh. I got an itch. Dang it, why can't I think of who it was? Hello friends, I'm Tiffany and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because it is another day of Vlogmas, and even though Vlogmas is all about Christmas, December is also about my birthday, and my birthday is especially special this year because I am turning 30, which is absolutely insane. I still can't believe it. When I say it out loud, I just don't believe it because in my head, I'm still like super young and naive and youthful. And I'm not saying 30 is old, obviously, because 30 is not old. But it's just so unreal, like just to think about all of the things that I've done and all the things that I've accomplished already, which is really cool, but then also all of the things that I have yet to do. And so for those who don't know, I am obsessed with lists. I run a blog called Endless Bliss, and on that blog, I have a list called my 30 before 30 list. And this is a list that I created when I was like 22 or 23 years old, and it has evolved over time. So there have been some things that I've taken off, things that I've added, and just things that I've adapted, because obviously an entire decade, like to make a list of goals for an entire decade is insane because you are going to change, you are going to evolve as a person. And because of that, my goals all also evolved and changed as I grew up and as I found things that were more feasible, or things that I was just more excited about, or things that I just didn't want to do anymore. My list changed. And so I am turning 30 on December 15th, and so I am excited to say that I am going to complete my list exactly on my birthday, but we'll get back to that in a little bit. So if you want to see the complete list of everything that's on my 30 before 30 list, I will link that below. It is published on my blog. I don't have like what my original list was and what it is now or anything like that. I just have the list as it stands right now. And it includes all dates and pictures, and some even include blog posts about all of the things that I've already accomplished. And then there are just a few that I haven't yet accomplished. But I do want to talk a little bit about some of the awesome memories that I've been able to make thanks to this 30 before 30 list. Back in 2015, my sister and I decided that we wanted to go to a music festival. So we ended up going to Austin to go to Austin City Limits, and it was so much fun. So we ended up only being able to go on Sunday because it was a really last minute decision. So all of the tickets for Friday and Saturday were already sold out. But luckily, the people that we saw on Sunday were people that I really, really wanted to see, or people that I didn't even know I wanted to see and I absolutely love now. Some of the highlights, the person that, or the group, I guess, the duo that I was most excited to see was Marion Hill. I love Marion Hill, and luckily, like, not a ton of people wanted to, like, were super excited to see them. I know I heard a lot of people in the crowd that had never actually heard of them, and they ended up leaving fans. But I was excited because we ended up being super close, and so I got some really cool pictures and all that good stuff. So it was really awesome. And we also saw Chance the Rapper. We saw Halsey. I had actually never heard of Halsey before Austin City Limits, and my sister wanted to go see her, and I'm so glad that we went and saw her because she was awesome and I definitely became a fan. We also saw Florence and the Machine. It was just an insane night, an insane experience, and I'm so glad that I was able to cross that off my list. And I also caught the bug because the next 2 years I ended up going to another music festival. In 2016 and in 2017, I went to Hangout Music Fest, which was incredible. And I went to all 3 days, both years. And so I got to see tons and tons and tons of amazing artists. I actually have vlogs for both of those years, and I will link those down below. Another thing that I wanted to do in my 30s was adopt a dog. Growing up, my family had dogs all the time. We had so many dogs, so many pets. And so I've always been obsessed with dogs. And so whenever I finally was out of college and in a place where I felt comfortable enough to where I could adopt a dog of my own, I decided to just take the plunge. And so for those who don't know, I adopted a dog named Molly in 2014. She was a Dachshund Beagle mix. She was an old lady. She was so old, so sweet. She did have some health issues. She was overweight. She could barely hear, barely see. She had really, really, really bad teeth, but she was the sweetest girl, and she loved me, and I loved her, and everyone who met her loved her because she was just the sweetest little pup. I only was able to have her for 2 years. She passed away. I still get really sad thinking about it because I loved her so much, and luckily I was able to say goodbye to her. I loved that dog with all of my heart, and I'm so glad that we got to spend the 2 years that we did together. Kyle and I also adopted a dog. Kyle's my boyfriend. We adopted a dog earlier this year. His name is Gunther. He's been in a few of my videos, and he is all over my blog, he's all over my Instagram, all that stuff. Something super out of my comfort zone that I wanted to do whenever I was in my 20s was go skydiving. This is something that I always said that I wouldn't do because I am deathly afraid of heights, and I've just had so many experiences where like being up too high just got to me. And so skydiving was definitely not something that was in the cards for me, but I decided to take the plunge. One of my old coworkers and friends, his name is Jimmy, he talked me into it, and we ended up going together. And so this was back in 2015. We decided that we were going to use our tax refund to go skydiving, and we went skydiving in Shreveport. And so it wasn't like super cool views of like mountains and landscapes and stuff like that, but I can say that I jumped out of a plane on purpose for fun, and I actually have an entire video about that experience as well, and I can link that below. So I love to travel. Traveling is one of my favorite things to do. I would rather spend my money on travel than anything else. And so one of the big things that I wanted to do in my 30s was go to Europe. And for those who don't know, I am a military brat, and so I was actually born in Germany, but that's the only experience in Europe that I have in my life. And so obviously we moved whenever I was, I think, 2 years old, so I don't have any memories of that. So I definitely wanted to go to Europe as an adult and be able to experience that. So I was actually able to cross this off back in 2014. My sister and I, we went to London, Paris, and Rome with a travel group called EF College Break, which doesn't exist anymore. I think they renamed, and I have no idea what their name is now, but it was an awesome experience. And speaking of Europe, I am absolutely obsessed with Harry Potter. So 4 of the things on my 30 before 30 list have to do with Harry Potter. So back in 2014, my sister and I went to a Comic-Con in Dallas, and the Weasley twins were there. So we got to meet James and Oliver Phelps, and we also got to see them speak on a panel, and it was really cool. And then going back to the Europe thing, whenever we were in London, of course they have the Harry Potter studios there, and they have like full sets and props and all that cool stuff that is actually in the movie and used in the movie. And so of course that's like the ultimate Harry Potter fan experience. I could have spent hours here, which I mean we did, but I could have probably spent like double the amount of time we spent there. I think we spent like 3 hours there or something like that, and it was so cool. Also, whenever we were in London, we went to platform 9 3/4, and originally whenever I took the Pottermore quiz back in the day, it said I was a Gryffindor, and even though I didn't really agree with the results, I kind of embraced that. So I'm kind of bummed because my platform 9 3/4 picture has a Gryffindor scarf, and in reality I'm actually a Hufflepuff. And of course another ultimate fan experience for Harry Potter lovers is to go to Harry Potter World in Orlando, and luckily me and Kyle were able to do that in not this past summer but the summer before that in 2018, and it was so much fun. It was genuinely a dream come true. We were at Universal Studios from when it opened to when it closed, and like 80% of the day was spent in the 2 Harry Potter parks, and it was so much fun. We had frozen butterbeer, and we had fire whiskey, and just all sorts of stuff. It was just such a cool experience. We bought a wand, and we ate at the 3 broomsticks, and I loved it, and I cannot wait to go back. So those are just a few of the things that were on my 30 before 30 list. But if you want to see the full list, of course, you can go on my blog, which I'll link below, and you can see all the other things that I have on my list. So if you want to make a list of your own, you can definitely use that as a guide. So there are 3 more things that I still need to cross off my list, and they are all actually going to happen the weekend of my birthday, and I'm so excited. So the first is to visit 25 states. I have visited 24 states so far, and the last one that I'm going to check off is Virginia. Kyle and I are going to a wedding in Virginia the weekend of my birthday, and we are also going to go to Washington, D.C., and Washington, D.C. is also on my 30 before 30 list, and I'm so excited to be able to check them off at the same time. And then the last thing on my 30 before 30 list is to eat at a Michelin star restaurant, and Kyle is just thebomb.com. Do people still use that phrase? Because I do. He made us reservations at a Michelin star restaurant in Washington, D.C. It's called Kinship, and we're going to be eating there on my actual birthday. So I'm going to be able to cross the last thing off of my 30 before 30 list on my actual birthday. So technically I'll be 30, but I think I was born at like 11:15 at night or something like that. So as long as we eat before then, I'll still technically be 29. I hope y'all enjoyed seeing some of the things that were on my 30 before 30 list. I really enjoyed reliving some of those memories. I made some incredible memories in my 20s, and I am so excited to turn 30 and have a whole other decade of even more awesome memories. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to come back tomorrow for another video for Vlogmas. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye!